You can find them, but you can't find them that'll work.
Hello folks, so welcome to the next vlog. I was in the neighborhood, 3 hours away, so I had to come to Cisco, Texas. I actually live 3 hours away. So Cisco, Texas is known for the Santa Claus Bank Robbery in 1927, which a man disguised himself as Santa and carried out a bank robbery, and it ended up becoming the largest manhunt in Texas history at that point. This clock here was outside of that bank. The actual building is still here. We'll go see that. But this is the clock that once stood out there, and then it's outside of what was Conrad Hilton's first hotel. So this was like the first Hilton hotel. So I'm here with Tammy, who is the curator of the museum here, and she told me a really great story that I'm gonna have her retell to you about how Conrad Hilton bought this hotel in Cisco, Texas.
Yes. Okay, so Conrad Hilton came to Cisco in 1919 to buy a bank. We had 3 banks in town, and one was for sale for $75,000. When he arrived here from New Mexico, him and the owner could not agree on a price. In fact, they got mad at each other. And the owner actually went up on the price and said, if you now want the bank, it'll cost you $80,000. Well, then Conrad was mad, so he come over here to get a hotel room at the Mobley Hotel in 1919 to spend the night. And he couldn't rent a room because they were booking in 8-hour shifts around the clock to all the oil field men in town. So as he spoke to the owner, Mr. Henry Langford Mobley, Mr. Mobley assumed he was in town to be part of the oil field boom. And when he told him no, he was here to buy a bank, Mr. Mobley asked him, he said, well, would you like to buy a hotel? And he said, a hotel? And he said, yes, mine is for sale. He said, because I want to try my hand and in my luck in the oil field business. And so they struck up a conversation, and he ended up buying the hotel for $40,000, and that's how he started his empire in the hotel industry.
Now, Tammy told me that when they were recreating these hotel rooms, that this particular one was about twice the size of with how they actually would have been. So she calls this the penthouse. So this is a little bit exaggerated as far as room size in that time. So this is the original desk that Conrad Hilton used here at the hotel, and I guess this is the only authentic furniture to this property that he used that has been identified anyway. Also, this china down here in the display case, I guess they sold stuff. They had a garage sale when they first initially were getting in here to like refurnish things, and they sold stuff, like original stuff. And local school teacher bought that stuff for like $5 and like donated it back and said like, you need this. So, and this is why I'm here. So they let us into this bank after they had closed because we wanted to see this mural, and I think this is probably one of the only times you'll be in a bank that has a depiction of a bank robbery taking place. I'm just gonna leave that there.
Possibly these were some of the bullet holes from the Santa Claus Bank.
hide TV, a test case. You can find them, but you can't find them that'll work.
The leaves around the old toll gate were falling, falling, falling. Dark its melody seems falling.
It says his name in there.
As we leave
This guy's name was that you got this from?
Jack Frazier.
Jack Frazier, there we go.
Yeah, I just happen to have a picture of him here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. This Charles Yardley, he was my alcoholic painter. There's Jack Frazier. He's the one that painted a lot of this.
Oh, wow, that's a very distinguished picture of him.
Yeah.
Well, folks, if you come to the Leila Lloyd Latch Museum in Cisco, which is open by appointment only, you gotta come, because that guy knows a whole lot of information about a whole lot, and he has got a lot in there that's very interesting, and I was pretty overwhelmed with everything he's got going on in there. Somebody, if you're watching this and you've got lots of money, give it to this man to help build this thing up, because this is amazing. So I'm pretty overwhelmed with everything at Cisco, but on my way back home, I had to stop at the Eastland County Courthouse. Obviously I have to get pictures, that's kind of a taken, but so the legend has it that when they were burying a time capsule, a kid had a horned lizard and decided it was a good idea to put a live animal into this time capsule. And then years later, decades later, they decided they were going to tear down that courthouse, and so they were going to build this one. And when they went to open that time capsule, the thing appeared to be dead until they went to touch it, and it was alive. It sprung to life. And it was such a story that, like, they took it to the White House, Calvin Coolidge saw it, and I mean, like, it made kind of the rounds, and then eventually died a year later, and then that's where you got it now. Although, there are so many stories, I'm not even gonna recount them here, but you can go find them. So many stories about this thing, like, being stolen, and, you know, is this the real old rip, is it not? And then of course there's the whole thing about logistically, did somebody slip a real lizard into it? But I mean, the people that were out there at the time capsule swear nobody could have possibly slipped anything in there. So yeah, crazy story. If you're ever through this part of Texas, if you're on the 20 coming through Eastland County, you should definitely exit off and just go see Old Rip. Again, if you do the research, there's a lot of stuff out there on it. So yeah, interesting story in Eastland, Texas. Now I gotta go home. I've been very interested in the Santa Claus Bank Robbery for a very long time, and so, you know, I decided I wanted to go see everything, and my goodness did they pull through. I am so impressed. And I took pictures of this courthouse, so see pictures here. So yeah, I have no idea really what's gonna go on for the rest of this drive home, but I thank you for coming with me, because this has been very interesting.